Okay, so does everyone know who I am? I just wanted to share a couple things. I went for what felt like the longest time being single. I could never find a person who felt like someone I wanted to be with long term. You know, it was always someone fell in love with me or I fell in love with someone, but it was never the right fit and we were never both feeling that. So, and then I got to a point where I was so desperate to find someone that I didn't like who I was for. So I took a year off. And at the end of that year, I woke up from a nap and I just knew I'm going to meet the person this coming year, because that was in December. And I also had a feeling that it was going to be someone I already knew. Well, as it turns out, Will and I met at an event. Marcus was probably there. Although technically we realized we had met before. He remembered it vividly. I remembered the incident, but not that it was him. He had been dating another friend of mine, and I met him at a science fiction convention that was being held downtown. And Will was on crutches because he had I don't remember which one of the things with his leg it was that caused the issue that time. But he was dating my friend Tom, and I leaned over to Tom and said, "Hey, this one can't run away." You know, those of you who know me at conventions, I know tons of people and I'm constantly going places. So I took off and went doing other stuff. And as Will would tell the story, he was like, "Hey, wait. Will and I had a lot of friends in common." He had heard about me for years, but his friends had never introduced me to him. And it was very funny. One friend who couldn't be here today said, "Yeah, I wanted to keep Emory for myself." But we eventually, when we re-met, we connected instantly. And it was a connection that I don't think either of us really knew that it was gonna be what it turned out to be, but we were both open to it and it was the right time for us, and it did work. We had the wedding here where my friend Susie with the loud shoes met one of my other best friends, Alan, and they met here at the wedding, both standing up for us, and they got married. They have a daughter named Charlotte, who is my goddaughter, and although I don't spend time with her, I love her. And all these other friends who talked. You know, while they were up here, I remember 30 other stories each one of them could have shared. But it was wonderful seeing how much love that Will had for all these people who were important to me and became very important to him too. And I'm so happy to see those of you here who come. And I know that all of those who couldn't be here for whatever reason, I know they all wanted to be here too. And we all know this is a horrible time for something like this. 2 years ago, this place would have been packed. But so I appreciate all of you who are here, all the more for coming. And I'm so glad that I got to share with all of you. And just because I talk doesn't mean if someone else has a last minute thing, they can.
Wow. Oh, there is someone. Okay. I can talk all the time. Just ask questions.
No, because then she'll talk to you all. Hi, I'm Jerry Fry, see my oldest daughter, my youngest child, and my wife already. I remember many things about Will. I remember helping him move out of the apartment and in with Emory in my new truck. And then shortly afterwards, he had surgery where he, as we jokingly put it, I forget exactly how he phrased it, but the first half went in the grave. And I picked him up in a new four-wheel drive, well, due to me, four-wheel drive pickup truck. So he let me, how am I going to get up there? We'll figure it out. And we did. I remember the story about how Will was working second or third shift at that point, so he would go to sleep late at night and sleep in the morning. But he had the dog. Nobody's talked about Indy. A couple people have mentioned dogs, but Indy was a very smart dog. He knew to not wake Papa up until four numbers. Look at a digital clock at 9:59 in the morning. There's 3 numbers, right? At 10 o'clock in the morning, there's how many numbers? Dogs can't tell time, but the Indy could tell 3 and 4. And speaking of Indy, one time early on, Will was in the room with Emory and said, ow. And Indy looked around, I gotta protect Papa. Ow, ow, ow. And Indy looked at Emory, the other person in the room, and went, am I supposed to protect Papa? Emory loved Indy anyway. I think that's when Indy decided Emory was really in charge.
Will was not happy.
There's many other stories. He was a great cook. Obviously, I like to eat. He spent much time at our house. We spent much time at his house. And the kids always seemed to be bored because in the car, like, do we have to go again? Oh, wait, Will's cooking. Is Will cooking? Oh, Will's cooking? Okay. Anyway, we'll miss Will very much. He was always a joy and always smirking and laughing. And I'm kind of like him where I tell stories and I crack myself up. And people are like, I don't know the story. You'll get it. You all know how to tell a dad joke, right? From another joke. It becomes apparent.
Come on, Darrell. See, that's the trick. Every time I get ready to go up, then somebody.
Hi, my name is Darrell. Been a friend and a roommate for Will and Emory for a couple of decades all told. Very close in so many ways you can't even imagine. I know, it's scary, isn't it? You get people in your life that you just always have them. They're always there for you. You try to be there for them. It was about 23 or 24 when I first met Will, so it's been a good long time. I've been sitting trying to figure out what I should say or how I should say it, not embarrass Will, because there are all the stories, but something that I don't think a lot of people knew, but to me was a really big thing. Every year for the last 10 or so, I've tried to pilot a group from the library that does AIDS Walk. And Will was central to that. He wasn't just a contributor, but he was central because in order to raise funds, we do things, and Will couldn't walk because of the leg, but he could bake. And every year we did AIDS Walk, and Will would contribute several dozen cookies every year, and I think I could have charged $5 a piece, and the cookies still would have sold. Every time we brought some, well, are those Will's cookies? And up to this point, I think we've raised over $7,000 for AIDS Walk. big part of that was Will. So he's made a big contribution in our lives and the lives of a lot of people. He never even knew. That's who he was.
Hey, I'm getting ready to get up. Okay, you don't have to hold it forever, you just need to hold it until we're done with the service, and then you can come up here, and just, get a group around you and share your story. But I do have some words on behalf of Pastor Joe and Joyce, because they weren't able to be here today, but if any of you all know Pastor Joe, he kept me on the phone for about 20 minutes, and I said, well, I'm not going to be able to remember all of this to tell to Emory, but he said he wanted to share because it had been a journey for Cross to decide to become what we now call it reconciled in Christ, meaning that we're fully accepting and affirming of LGBT QIA plus individuals. And at that particular time, we had done lots of studies, and Pastor Joe had a change of heart. I wasn't here at that particular time, I was off in college, but I do know that there was particular scriptures and different people that were a part of our conversation that really helped him see that that was the right way for us to go as a congregation. And then if memory serves correct, he said that you all were the second couple that he was able to marry in this place. And so that holds very special memories for both Pastor Joe and Joyce. And he just wanted to share that they still love you and support you, and that it was a real honor because it was another one of those affirmations during a time that we were one of the congregations that did that first. And so to have a second marriage and to have so many people who attended and it to be so much supported by our congregation was a huge affirmation that it wasn't just something that was the thing to do, but we truly believed that we were all God's children and should be celebrated. And so he just wanted me to remind you that that is a happy time that he always remembers, and that he sends his love and blessings. And on that note, I would invite the choir for our next selection. Siyahamba, we are marching in the light of God.
Number 63 in the Burgundy hymnal.